glad you're here. With this understanding that you had to sacrifice things and you had to save and you had to sort of be very frugal in order to be successful. When I was a kid, and he lived with us eventually, he would tell my mother to save the bathwater, to not drain the water after she bathed us, and we were like, that's really gross, Grandpa. And he was just like, oh, but you guys are kids, you're not dirty, you're not working in the field, so you're fine, this water is fine. Human nature is like water, it takes the shape of its container. In America, people don't bathe in each other's leftover water. But when he was a boy, the trough was empty after the last pig feeding, after his younger brothers had their turn. His naked body would shiver something awful standing in it. 3 buckets of used water, heated by after-dinner fire, the rinse. Of was wasted no water since. My skin cells, hair, and navel lint floating around him never mattered. This residue was a reminder that I always woke up to bread, that he sweat all day in the face of a steam presser with the same certainty he knew birds flew further south. Trains arrived through Penn Station, and a little money was saved.
Time I stood mute, and poetry gave me an opportunity to use words, and so I'm going to share words that allow me to share experiences. And I'd like to start with a Mary Oliver line that I came across. We all love Mary Oliver. And Mary Oliver once said, poetry's a life-cherishing force. Her poems are not words, after all, but fires for the cold, ropes let down to the lost, something as necessary as bread in the pockets of the hungry. And poetry is giving me life, so I'd like to share some of that with you. On languid nights, when the moon illuminates, I see him perched in a shrub or planked curbside as I take out the trash. To make himself known, he'll let his heavy tongue strike a gold inlay. Click, click, click. I look away, knowing that I can only confront him over a chasm where his whiskey words can't reach. The stench of Johnny Walker feels the still night, much as it did my basement room. Soon he'll chirp obscenities, then chirp love. I ignored him then,
And Get Fresh Books is our sponsor. It's a local publisher, Roberto Carlos Garcia, and we're so grateful to Words for bringing us into the neighborhood to share poetry with people who are local too. My book is Some Other Wet Landscape.
Kemp's Ridley's. Kemp's Ridley's close by, braving New England waters, and early in the season too. With my dream eyes, I see you swimming in the deep right here, with right whales and jellies. Although frigid, you flock to these chock-full feeding grounds. Neither of us has time enough to wonder, does courage or cowardice lead more quickly toward extinction? Of an old medicine bottle, deep blue and dirty, tossed overboard by a sailor with stomach trouble. Walking the shoreline, she knew the Sea Glass Association collectors hunted reds, blacks, coveted oranges to fill trays and fashion trinkets. But she treasured abundant greens and blues most of all. Those Parisian tides only come around twice each year. What were the odds that this whittled woman, this battered blue fragment, would arrive on the same shore, same time, after the centuries turned?